Hi there, friend. My name is Chance, and you're watching Tarot by Chance. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to manifest magic at thrift stores and secondhand stores, and basically how to create out of thin air the magical items you are seeking. And I'm also going to show you my awesome Goodwill book haul and use that as an example to explain how I manifested these books. Alrighty, let's get into it. So I walked into Goodwill and I paid attention to the little board that tells you what color tag is 50% off, only to be surprised and find out that it's also a 99-cent day. So basically, like orange tags are 99 cents and green tags are 50% off. So I knew this was a very blessed day to do my Goodwill thrifting. I went in with the intention of finding things for my YouTube setup or my YouTube channel. Just basically looking around. I didn't really know exactly what I was looking for. My idea was like trinkets or a lamp or, something like that. And I literally circled these aisles, I want to say like 20 times. I was haunting this Goodwill. And I eventually, after some time, came across some things. So the only little trinket type thing I found was a little dish made out of stained glass, and it's so cute. And I don't think it's even really appeared in any of my videos so far, but I thought it would be really useful for altar work or whatever else. So I picked it up because it was green, and I already knew my setup would be green. So anyways, now let's talk about the books. So as I was perusing the trinket aisle, literally looking for statuary, anything, the feng shui book found me. Okay, it was just sitting in that aisle and it had a 50% off tag. And I was like, okay. The manifestation vision has now oriented towards books. Now, mind you, I have already looked at the book aisle, skimmed my eyes over all the books, and thought to myself, there's probably not any witchy books here. Let me just move on and find other things. Well. Boy, was I wrong, because I went back to the book aisle. As soon as I found this feng shui book, I was like, there's something here for me. So I go back to the book aisle, and I take the time to really look through the books, and I find a Wicca book. I find crystal gem and metal magic, and I find your aura, and your chakras, and oh my gosh. If you cannot already tell, books are a supreme source of joy for me. Freaking love books, freaking love studying, and going to a Goodwill and finding witchy books that actually will help me along my path. Wow. That it warms my heart. It makes my soul feel at home. I feel great. My internal library has been expanded upon, and that means the most to me. Anyways, let's talk about manifesting at a thrift store. So basically, I go in with an intention, and I need to forewarn that every time you go into a thrift store with an intention, you may not come out with what you expected, or you may not come out of that thrift store with anything at all, and that's okay. So I've got 3 tips that will help you manifest at a thrift store, secondhand store. So one is going to be your intention. Before you even step foot onto the premises, go in with an intention that is vague enough that the universe can kind of work with it and surprise you, and at the same time not too vague. So for example, mine was YouTube setup or something YouTube oriented, and I got books that I could show on YouTube. So there's that. 2 is going to be, you've got to have perseverance. You have to search for it sometimes. It might not just appear out of nowhere in front of you in a way that you can just recognize from a mile away. Sometimes you have to kind of go digging in the items and really seek out what you want. And then 3 is going to be using whatever you've already manifested as proof that you can do it, and going in next time with faith and belief that when you put your energy out there and say, I want this. This is something this is an energy I'm trying to attract to me, whether that's books, whether that's statuary for your altar, whatever it is. You are trusting that you are magnetic enough to will these items into your physical reality, and that you have already, like in your spiritual life, created pathways and gateways for you to access these energies. Like, for example, knowledge for the books. I know that there's certain levels of knowledge that I'm seeking that I've already created doorways for in my spiritual life. And then as I go into my mundane life in Goodwill, it's like, hey, here's some tools for that. So yeah, those are my 3 pillars. Go in with a pretty solid, but like also room to grow kind of intention. Then seek it out. Like really take the time to peruse, to look through. And then when you do find what it was that the universe had decided was aligned with your intention, when you find that thing and it sparks joy, trust that and go, I can do this again. I can do this over and over. I am magnetic enough to do this type of thing, and it will create results in the future. Maybe not every time, but it can happen again. And now let's get into the book haul. I am so excited to share this with you. Alrighty, let's get into it. So this book put a smile on my face when I saw it on the shelf. I mean, I was astonished, flabbergasted. I'm like, who would donate this book? But does it really matter because it's in my hands now? Anyways, now I love a good table of contents. So I'm going to show you that for each of the books. This one, oh, beautiful. Wow. Oh my goodness. And let's get further into it. There's even more. Yep. This isn't even the largest table of contents of all the books I got. This is still a solid one. Like, wow, there's good information here. And this is how I know it's a good book. When there is a juicy table of contents, I am sold immediately. Like, if I can look at that table of contents and go, okay, this is what this book is about, this is what this book stands to offer, and that offer is good, oh yeah. And I especially love organization, so if it has a nice layout, again, sold. Next, we're gonna get into the Feng Shui book. So this book, just the cover, I'm already like, yeah, wow. And then the table of contents, it's like for the house, for the garden, for the office. And that it just covers so many different areas that could be useful. And I have been wanting to get into Feng Shui, so it's really awesome that this book just found me. It's like, hey, here's the information you wanted. And I'm like, thank you. Next, we've got Your Aura and Your Chakras, the Owner's Manual. What a title. Now, what really stood out to me about this book was the fact that it covers the hand and feet chakras, which I've heard a bit about, but haven't really explored. So I'm very excited to read this book. And the fact that it mentions the 8th chakra like this was divinely planned for me. I love it. And now we're talking about color astrology. So this book is more of a coffee table, like fun read rather than like magical working reference material. I just thought it was cute. And of course, I had to flip to my own birthday. So it says I'm musical, verbal, traveler. Beautiful, I love it. Gemini vibes. So now let's talk about Wicca, the complete craft. Now, I am not Wiccan. I want to put that out there. I don't really subscribe to any type of like organized religion type vibes. I am very go with my own flow, but I love this type of book because of the amount of information that it contains and how most of that can be sort of tweaked to fit my own purposes. It also just has good like herbal, candle magic type information that can be used regardless of what type of deities or religious structure you subscribe to. Now this is what I call a juicy table of contents. Oh my goodness. The amount of valuable information that is in this book is incredible. And the fact that there's like a multitude of chapters that are split up into different parts, that's lovely. Love that. So yeah, this is the end of my book haul. And I saved the best for last. This one is a good one. Thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to support, you can leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you wish. If you would like to support on an even deeper level, I am currently accepting clients and you can be a part of my clientele base. So my offers are tarot readings or mentorship. That's $45 for 30 minutes or $75 for an hour. I also have astrology chart analysis and energy reading. That's $100 for a downloadable document. And for shadow work coaching, you would be signing up for 6 sessions for $600. So if any of that interests you, you can check it out on my website, tarotbychance.com. And also, if you decide to take my tips for thrifting and bring that into your journey of manifestation, please let me know how that goes for you. I will see you next video. You have a wonderful day. Bye.